Hello, my dear students. I hope all of you are doing good. All of you are staying safe at your home. Today we are going to start a new lesson, and it's a short story written by Satyajit Ray. And the name of the story is The Scarecrow. Now, first of all, let us get the meaning of the word the scarecrow. So, what is a scarecrow? Scarecrow is a humanoid structure. It is an effigy typically made of straws and dressed in old cloths, and it is made to scare the birds from eating the seeds or crops in the field. And the story, the scarecrow, has five characters. First of all, the first character is Mriganko Babu, whose full name is Mriganko Shekhar Mukhopadhyay. He was a famous and popular writer, and he was a good-natured, amiable person, and he was not a superstitious person. The second character is Sudhir, who was the driver of Mriganko Babu, and he was a careless guy. The third character is Abhiram, who was an ex-servant at Mriganko Babu's house, who worked for 20 years, and he was a faithful and loyal servant. He was convicted of theft, and he was dismissed from his job. And fourth character is Mriganko Babu's father. He was a superstitious person. And the fifth character is a witch doctor. Now, what is witch doctor? Witch doctor is a person who is supposed to have magical powers and who can tell about the past and the future as well. It is supposed that they can ward off witchcraft and they can heal through magical powers. So now let's go to the story. Mriganko Babu's suspicions were confirmed just as they were about to reach Panagarh. So Mriganko Babu, he was a famous writer, as I already told you. He was settled and based in Calcutta. So Calcutta is the old name of Kolkata. Okay, and he went to Durgapur. Durgapur is towards north direction from Kolkata or Calcutta, and he was on his way back to home. And he before starting his journey from Calcutta to Durgapur, he was in a suspicion that his car might run out of petrol, and that suspicion of Mriganko Babu gets confirmed just when they were about to reach Panagarh. His car ran out of petrol. The petrol gauge had not been functioning properly for quite a while. The petrol gauge of Mriganko Babu's car went faulty. It was not functioning properly for quite a while. Now, what is the petrol gauge? Petrol gauge is an instrument that gives visual description or measures of petrol in a car. It used to show how much petrol the car has. It used to give a visual description. So he had pointed this out to his driver Sudhir before they set out this morning. Before Mriganko Babu and his driver Sudhir started their journey, he pointed out Sudhir about that particular fault of his car, and he asked Sudhir to check the measure of petrol in their car. But Sudhir, before the beginning of their journey. But Sudhir had paid no attention. But Sudhir, as he was a very careless guy, he did not pay any sort of attention to the instruction given by Mriganko Babu. There had in fact been less petrol in the tank than the gauge had shown. And in the car, the car had less petrol than the gauge had shown. As it was a faulty gauge, so it used to show more petrol than the car actually used to have. Suppose the car had the car's petrol tank had 20 liters of petrol. The gauge used to show like 25 liters or 30 liters, like that. What are you going to do now? Mriganko Babu asks. As their car stopped, their car ran out of petrol. Now Mriganko Babu asked Sudhir, what are you going to do now? I will walk to Panagarh and come back with more petrol, Sudhir replied. Now Sudhir replies to Mriganko Babu that he will go to Panagarh on foot and he will come back with more petrol. That means he will fetch petrol for the car and he will bring more petrol for the car. Then Mriganko Babu asked Sudhir about the distance of Panagarh. How far is Panagarh? About 3 miles. Then Sudhir replied Mriganko Babu that Panagar was about 3 miles away from that particular place where their car got stopped. That means I must wait here for at least 2.5 hours. It's all your fault. What am I going to do? Have you thought of that? Now Mriganko Babu, when his car got stopped there, when he came to know that he had to wait for more than 2 hours all alone in a nowhere, he became irritated, he became angry, and he started shouting at Sudhir, and he started blaming Sudhir for his fault, and he says that it's all because of your fault that I have to stop here, I have to wait here for more than 2 hours. Now what I have to do now, what I am going to do now, have you thought about that? All these are happening because of all your fault only. Like this way he shouted at Sudhir. Mriganko Babu was an amiable person. Mriganko Babu, as I already told you in the beginning, that he was a very friendly kind of person. He was a good-natured person. So he was a friendly person. He was an amiable man. He did not usually snap at his driver or servants. As he was a good-natured person, he usually does not use to shout at his driver or servants or other people. But the thought of sitting alone in his car for more than 2 hours in the middle of nowhere made him irritable. But when the thought of waiting for more than 2 hours in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of their journey came to his mind, and that too waiting all alone, he became irritable and he started shouting at Sudhir, which he never used to do on the other time. Well, you would better leave. Can we make it back to Calcutta by 8 o'clock? It's now 3:30. And Mriganko Babu was actually worried because it was already 3:30 p.m. and he was worried whether they would be able to reach Calcutta before 8 p.m. or not. And so he said to Sudhir that it will be better for Sudhir to leave for Panagar now, and he was concerned about his arrival at his home. So he asked Sudhir if they will be able to reach Calcutta by 8 o'clock or not. Oh yes sir, we will certainly be back by 8. Then Sudhir gives him assurance that they will be able to reach Calcutta before 8 o'clock in the evening. Here is the money for the petrol. Then Mriganko Babu gives Sudhir the money required to bring the petrol. Don't make this mistake again, and he wants Sudhir as well not to make this kind of mistake furthermore. You must never take such a risk on a long journey. He wants Sudhir not to take this kind of risk on long journeys. Sudhir took the money and left for Panagar. Then Sudhir takes the money from Mriganko Babu and he leaves for Panagar to bring petrol. Mriganko Shekhar Mukhopadhyay was a famous and popular writer. So Mriganko Babu or Mriganko Shekhar Mukhopadhyay was a famous and popular writer. He was a renowned figure. A club in Durgapur had invited him to a cultural function in order to felicitate him. So he went to Durgapur from Kolkata or Calcutta. So Durgapur is towards the north direction from Calcutta. So why did he go to Durgapur? Because he was invited by a club in Durgapur, and they invited him to a cultural function in order to felicitate him for his good work. Usually in your 12th exam, this kind of question comes like, who was Mriganko Shekhar Mukhopadhyay, why he was invited by a cultural club in Durgapur. Okay, you can underline these two lines. He could not get the reserved seat on the train, hence his departure by car. So Mriganko Babu, he actually thought of going to Durgapur by a train, and he tried to get a reserved seat in train, but he failed to get it, and so he had to start his journey to Durgapur by his own car. He had left for Durgapur quite early in the morning, soon after a cup of tea. So when he started his journey from Calcutta to Durgapur in the early morning, soon after taking a cup of tea. That means he started to Durgapur in quite earlier. He was now on his way back. Now he is on his return journey to his home, that is to Calcutta. He was not one to believe in superstitions, and certainly he never consulted the almanac before traveling anywhere. So, almanac is actually a handbook. It is typically published annually, containing information on astronomical and astrological or other events like festivals for the year. So in short, or in easy language, in our own language, we can call it Panjika, okay, where we find details about the festivals, or we find about the auspicious days or dates of the year. And people often used to consult the almanac. Those people who are very superstitious, they used to consult the almanac before starting any sort of journey, okay, or before going to any particular direction. They used to search which date is good for them, or on which date they should not go on this or that direction, or on any sort of long direction, or whether they should start a new war on this or that particular date. So like that. So it is said that Mriganko Babu was not one to believe in superstitions. So Mriganko Babu was not a superstitious person, and he never used to consult the almanac before traveling anywhere. He used to go anywhere he used to go anywhere whenever he wants, or whenever he is convenient, whenever he can, without consulting the almanac, because he was not a superstitious person. However, now it did occur to him that if he had bothered to look at the almanac today, it would not be surprising to find that it forbade long journeys. Now, Mriganko Babu thinks that, now it comes to his mind that he ponders that if he consulted the almanac that about this particular date, or about today, whether he should go to long journey or not, it would not be surprising to find that the almanac would forbid him to have a long journey on today, or on this particular day, because he had faced an awkward situation on that particular day. His car ran out of petrol, and he had to wait for his driver all alone from nowhere for more than 2.5 hours. So he ponders that it would not be surprising to find in the almanac that it would forbid him not to go for a long journey on this particular day. Now, Mriganko Babu got out of the car. He got out of the car, stretched, and lit a cigarette. So, after getting out of the car, he stretched his body and he lit a cigarette so that he feels relaxed, so that he gets relaxed. Then he looked around. He looked all around to see the scenery, to see the surrounding, how it looked. Now, as Mriganko Babu was coming back from Durgapur, which was towards the north from Kolkata, so their car was facing to the south. Okay, and now we will find the description of the two sides of both sides of the road, and this side means east side and the west side. Okay, and in your 12th exam, the description of east side or west side comes. So these two descriptions are very important. and you can mark these lines, or you can you have to read these lines carefully. It was the end of January. All the crops had been removed from the fields. The empty, barren fields stretched for miles. So it was the end of the month of January, and all the winter crops had been removed from the fields. All the winter crops had been harvested. So the fields became empty and they were lying barren, stretched for miles away. In the far distance, a small hut could be seen standing next to a tamarind tree. So, and in the far distance, there was a tamarind tree. Tamarind means imli or teteli in Assamese, and next to the tamarind tree was a small hut. And there was no other sign of habitation, but there was no human being living in the small hut. No sign of human existence or no sign of habitation would be seen in that hut. Still farther stood a row of palm trees. Away from that small hut and tamarind tree, there was a row of palm trees. Some palm trees were growing in a line, beyond which lay a dense dark forest, and beyond the row of palm trees was a very dense and dark forest. This was the scene that greeted him on one side of the road, on the eastern side, that is. So this was the scene of the eastern side of the road, and that scene was greeting him, and it was comparatively quite pleasant to him. It was quite pleasant in comparison to the western side of the road. On the western side, things were not all that different. Now, let's go to the western side of the road. The western side was also a bit similar to the eastern side. It was not all that different from the eastern side. About 40 feet away from the road was a pond. So about 40 feet away from the road there was a pond, but it did not have a great deal of water in it. But there was less water in the pond. The few trees that were visible were all quite far. So there were a few trees that could be seen from the road, and those trees were far away, except some thorny bushes, and some thorny bushes were also growing in the western side, and those thorny bushes were comparatively closer than those trees, those large trees that were visible. There were 2 huts, but no sign of people. On the western side also, there were 2 huts, but there were no human beings, no people living in the huts. In the middle of the field was a scarecrow, but in the middle of the field there was something, and that something was none but a scarecrow. To the north in the sky there were clouds, and in the north direction in the sky there were clouds. But it was quite sunny where Mriganko Babu was standing. But the point where Mriganko Babu was standing, that place was quite sunny. There were no clouds above the place where Mriganko Babu was standing. The clouds were seen to the north direction, on north side only, north where Mriganko Babu, from where Mriganko Babu was standing. Now let's move to the next paragraph. Although it was winter, Mriganko Babu began to feel warm in the sun after a while. So as it was a sunny weather, so in spite of being winter, Mriganko Babu began to feel warm after a while. So he returned to the car, took out a detective novel from his bag and began to read it. So he came back to his car and he took out a detective novel from his bag and he started reading it. In the last few minutes, two ambassadors and a lorry had gone past. One of the cars in the direction of Calcutta. Now, in the last few minutes, two ambassadors and a lorry had gone past. When Mriganko Babu was sitting in his car, he saw that two vintage cars. Ambassadors is a kind of vintage cars which are nowadays used by the bureaucrats only. So, and a lorry. Lorry means truck. Okay. So he saw that two ambassadors and a truck or lorry had crossed that route, and one of the cars was going to the direction of Calcutta. None of the drivers stopped to ask if he needed any help, but to utter surprise of Mriganko Babu, none of the drivers, that means all total 3 vehicles crossed that route, and none of the drivers of those vehicles stopped to ask Mriganko Babu if he needed any help. Seeing him alone in the middle of the road, seeing nobody with him, seeing his car running, seeing his car standing all alone, none of the drivers stopped, and none of the drivers even bothered to ask him whether he needed any help. All Bengalis are selfish, Mriganko Babu thought. So Mriganko Babu now comes to the conclusion that all Bengalis are selfish. So this lines often comes for explanation. You can underline it. So now Mriganko Babu, as being Bengali himself, he comes to the conclusion that all the Bengalis are selfish, because he saw that none of the drivers had stopped, none of the drivers had come forward to ask him for any sort of help, or none of the driver offered him any sort of help. And all those were who? They were all Bengalis. So he came to the conclusion that all the Bengalis are selfish. They would never think of considering the welfare or convenience of others, at least not if it meant causing themselves any inconvenience. And Mriganko Babu also thinks, or also comes to the conclusion that they would never think of considering, they means the Bengalis, okay? They will never think of doing welfare or doing any sort of convenience to others at the cost of their own convenience, at the cost of their own benefits, or at the cost of their own well-being. Okay, they will never help others if they themselves have to face inconvenience, if they themselves have to face any sort of problem. They will certainly never help any other people. They are such a selfish kind of people. That means those Bengalis. They means those Bengalis. Now he says that he questions himself. Would he have done the same? He questions himself. Would he, as a Bengali, he will also do the same kind of thing. Whether he will also not help the people like those drivers. Perhaps he will also do the same thing. He will also not help the others if it cause him inconvenience, if it cause him, or if it makes him facing any sort of problem. He will also definitely help. He will also not help others, definitely. After all, he was a Bengali too. And that's a typical nature of a Bengali. He might be a well-known writer, but his fame could not have removed the faults inherent in him, surely. So he says that though he was a well-known writer, though he was a very famous and popular writer, but that fame earned by him cannot remove the fault which is inherent in him as a Bengali, that cannot be removed by the fame that he has earned. Okay. Now let's go to the next paragraph. Rather unexpectedly, the clouds from the north spread quickly and covered the sun. So it was quite unexpected that the clouds from the north spread quickly and covered the sun. So it was unexpected because the weather was very sunny. So abruptly the weather became cloudy. The clouds covered the sun. At the same time, a cool breeze started blowing, and at the same time, cool breeze started blowing. So Mriganko Babu felt cold. Mriganko Babu took out a pullover from his bag and slipped it on. And feeling cold, Mriganko Babu took out a sweater from his bag and he put it on. He wore it to get rid of cold. The sun would set by 5 o'clock. It would grow cooler then. So when the sun would set before 5 o'clock, it would grow cooler. So that's why he had wore the sweater. Oh, what an awful situation Sudhir had landed him into. Again he wonders, again he thinks that what an unpleasant situation Sudhir had landed him into. Because of Sudhir, because of the carelessness of Sudhir, he had to face such an unpleasant situation, and he had to be in an awkward, their car got stuck in such an awkward place. So dear students, that's all for today. We will discuss the lesson later in our next class. So stay safe, stay in home, keep precautionary measures. Goodbye.